Hello, my children. Welcome back to math. So today we are going to get into the meat of percentages. This is where so much of understanding percents comes from. So let's just jump right into it. Solving percent problems. If I were to say something like, what is 67% of 90? If I were to say something like that, okay? What is 67% of 90? Now, I'm guessing, may not have a good yet understanding of how to solve this, so I'm going to walk you through. There is one formula we use to solve all percentage problems. Any kind of problem when we're trying to find an aspect using percent or find percents or whatever we're doing, there's one equation that we use and we'll use every time. The equation we use looks just like this. You should definitely write this down in your notes. Percent over 100 equals part over whole. Part can be called is, whole can be called of. Okay? Percent over 100 equals part over whole. This is a proportion. Proportions are used. We talked about proportions a couple chapters ago. A little while ago, we talked about proportions, talked about solving proportions by using cross multiplication. If you remember doing that, that was all the way from back in chapter 4 somewhere. But we solved proportions. We understood how to get a missing value in proportions. And that's all percent problems are. Percent problems are all missing value type problems. So when we talk about solving percents, it's done in the exact same way, missing value proportions. So our sentence here will give us two pieces of information. Okay, our sentence will give us two pieces of information. It will give us either the percent or the part, or the part, or the whole. Percent, part, or whole. Our equation will give us two of these values, and one of these values will be missing. So when we're setting up our proportions, we're going to set up our proportions every time just like this. 100 is always there. Remember, percents are always out of 100. Okay, so we're going to be looking for these three values. And so you look at our sentence here, and you can see already one of our values has percent in it. If it has percent in it, that is the percent. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to fill in 67 as our percent, right? Percent goes above 100. Every time percent goes above 100. Now we're going to look for either the word is or the word of. And so in our equation, we have of 90. We have of 90. That means 90 is our of value or our whole value here. Okay, 90 is our whole value. So 90 is going to go in where the of section is of our proportion, or the whole value section, right? This is where it says of and is. The sentence will say of or is in it. This one happens to say of, so 90 is the value we know, and we don't know this value. We don't know our is. We're looking for this value. Okay, and remember, we solve by cross multiplying. So we're going to take our numbers here, we're going to multiply. 100 times x is 100x, right? Anytime you have a number times a letter, it just becomes those two things right next to each other. And then this equation here would be 67 times 90. This is going to be a lesson that you are definitely going to want to have your calculator for. So tomorrow when you're coming into class, have your calculator. Make sure that you are well prepared when we're going through this. It just will make life a lot easier. Now, 67 times 90 is 6,030. Whoops, that's not where the decimal goes. 6,030 and 100 x. And if we want to get x all by itself, divide both sides by 100. Divide by 100. Again, use your calculator, or know that dividing by 100 means move your decimal back twice. X equals 60.3. 60.3 is 67% of 90. Okay? That's how it works every time. It works this way every time. Okay? Every time it works this way. So let's try a different one. Let's try a different sentence here. And see what we can come up with. Oops. Why can't that move? I want to move this. Move. There we go. Oh, great. All right. Let's say I have the question. 14 is 44% of what number? 14 is 44% of what number? All right, remember, starting our proportion, always looking like this. Something out of 100 equals something out of something. And then we look for the numbers we're looking for. Is there a percent here? Well, yes, there is. There's a 44%. 44% becomes our 44. Now, we also see we have in our question it says 14 is. That means that 14 is our is value, or our part. And then it says of what number. That means we are looking for some value. We're looking for some number, and that means we don't know our of. That becomes x. Okay? We're going to come through here, cross multiply. 100 times 14 is 1,400. 44 times x is 44x. Divide by 44. Divide by 44. And 1,400 divided by 44 equals 30. Wait a second, I did something wrong here. 1,400 divided by 44. Yeah, equals 31.8. Rounded, it'd be 31.8. So my answer would be x equals 31.8. 14 is 44% of 31.8. That would be my answer. Okay, proportions work the same every time. Set up my proportion, cross multiply, and solve for x. Okay? Here's step one. Set up proportion. 2, cross multiply. 3, solve for x. This is the steps we need to take to be successful. All right. Let me give you one to do on your own, and then we're going to talk a lot more about this in class. So let me know if you have questions on what we're doing. And remember, tomorrow, bring in your calculator. You're going to be able to use it. And so if not, you're going to be doing this a lot, pencil and paper. All right. 22 is what percent of 900? 22 is what percent of 900? I'll even do a little bit of highlighting for you to see if that is helpful in setting up your proportion and solving this equation out. All right, solve this. Let me know what your answer is. I will see all of you tomorrow. We'll keep talking about this. Have a great rest of your day.